What is up, Space Shakens? It's your friend, the AlienPhotog. How's everybody's day going today? I'm doing pretty good, really. I've had a pretty good day so far, actually. Been interesting so far, so that's a good thing. I came across this stuff that I've been saving, and these are drawings that I made. And I can't draw anything to save my life, which you'll probably be able to tell here. The best way to explain how these come out is I go into different sort of trance-like states, usually right after a quote-unquote major interaction. I don't know how to put it better than that. Like I don't know. There's minor ones, but this was interesting for me to look at. I just sort of stashed this to the side after it happened, and recently remembered I had it, so I thought I'd show it to you guys, see what you think. This is a picture of the inside of a ship that I drew. If you look on the right side of this, that little box there, that's the door. And I remember when I was doing this, I can't remember how I get in the ship. I really don't know that. I don't ever remember walking through a door, so I don't know how that works. But as I walked in, if we're going from right to left here, if I'm walking in the door going to the left, this next area is this big round area. It's kind of like a main, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's a big circular area, a main room kind of that you go into, and there's a hallway which goes around the outside of the circular area, and everybody walks, let's say, it'd be clockwise around that. And then kind of there are different places you can go in the ship from this main hallway. But it's kind of the main entrance area, I guess. And that number 88 up top, I remember at the tallest point, it was 88 feet high. I believe it was feet, not meters. I'm almost positive it's feet. But the place I went to, which is usually the hybrid area where they keep the babies, just because I like kids, I guess, so I guess that's why they take me back there. There's actually some more reasons I really don't want to get into, but anyway, so I went kind of halfway around the circular area here, and then hung a left into this long, I want to call it closet, but it's not a closet. It's dark typically, and but it's within this area that the hybrids, the baby tubes, are kept. And some people think it sounds like it'd be a horror movie. It's like a nursery. I mean, far from it. But really, the only light in there, I don't know why they keep it so dark other than the fluid, but the only light comes from the fluid within the tubes that have the babies in them, the hybrid babies. And it's a greenish color, and it's like a thick goo type of, it's thicker than water, but not quite a goo type substance that flows in them, but it's black pipes that come up from the bottom, and everything in the ship is not really metal. It's but it's not plastic as we know it either. More plastic than metal. I wish I could explain this better to you guys, but this is the best I got. So it's kind of like this black and green area. But anyway, the tubes where the babies are kept kind of latch in between the black pipes. And so I guess the fluid circulates, but at the same time the tubes can be removed. There's some sort of latch mechanism. It's metal on top of the tube. The tube itself is like a plexiglass, but the fetus is kept in. And there's some sort of interlocking device on the top and the bottom of that. And maybe I'll sketch out another drawing here. I actually will here after I record this to try to show you. I'm a horrible artist, but to try to show you what it looks like. But there's some sort of interlocking device that locks it in, so you can take the tubes in and out while those black tubes stay there, because they sort of filter everything through. It's a fluid, and the babies must get the nutrition from that, because they don't have umbilical cords, that's for sure, or there's no placenta present. It's just the child in the tube. But in this huge area, there's, I mean, countless, gosh, maybe, I hate to guess, but I wouldn't be surprised, 25,000, 50,000 hybrid babies, because some of them are really small. I mean, there's more of them earlier stages of development, and it would seem that they wean them out as they get older to just pick the strongest ones. But all this is done if they have to terminate. Well, they do. They terminate many of the hybrids' lives as fetuses because of logistical problems in, mixing species. So there's more little tiny ones than there are big ones, and of course once they grow up, they place them in the womb, and they're born into this world. And most of us don't know any different until later in life. Now this tube-looking thing on the left-hand side here, where you got the circle on top and circle on bottom with two lines connecting it. First off, the thing that draws my attention about that is that looks like something better than I can usually draw. And I can tell by the squiggly lines I have there by it. I was saying something about it. I don't remember. I wish I would have recorded when this was actually happening. I don't remember if that's one of the tubes, because it kind of looks like them, but or if that's another part of the ship. I wish I knew. But that 2600 number, that was the length of either the entire ship or that one. I keep calling it a closet. It's not a closet. It's like an enormous hall. And this is not the entire ship that I have diagrammed here. This is just a part of it I saw. It has kind of branches coming off it all around this circular spot in the middle there that I initially walked into. But yeah, at its highest point, it's 88 feet tall and 2,600 feet long. Let me do the math again real quick here. I remember at one point okay, yeah, they did. If I divide 88 by 20, or if I divide 2600 by 8, I get 29.54545454 forever, which may not seem like a significant number to most, but that one really strikes me of some significance. Primarily because when you do this weird geometrical math stuff they have, you can add the numbers together to equal other significant numbers. And essentially, they end up correlating to the planet's orbit somehow, and it has some sort of that's why they do things in certain measurements, because it sort of fits within the framework, apparently, of the solar system, and probably as we go further than that, the universe. But our calculations just weren't that good. But what you get here is if you add 2 plus 9, you get 11, which is a significant number, and then you get 99999, which is also significant. Like, for instance, if you take the biblical measurement of a cubit, C-U-B-I-T, it's 45.72 centimeters. So again, you have 4 plus 5 equals 9, and 7 plus 2 equals 9. So how that works, I never fully understood. But that has something to do with something, if that gets anybody in the ballpark. And if anybody figures anything else out about this, please let me know, because I'm fascinated to see what's going to come out of this. But, guys, and looking at it, that number really strikes me as something that maybe somebody listening to this is going to know. If that's something else, 29.54545454 forever. That looks really familiar to me, and I don't know why. So if that number means something to you, or some sort of measurement, or biblical measurement, or something like that, let me know. And then also, if you if you run it the other way, if you're neurotic with these numbers like I get, and I'm sorry if nobody's following this, but this got to mean something to somebody out there. I wish I knew what, but if you run it the other way, you get 0.033, and 33 is significant as well, astronomically. So, and boy, if you look at that number too, there's some rhyme or reason to being able to add a lot of stuff up to 11, and from all I got, that had to do with Mercury's orbit, which is 88 days. Well, there you go, 88, there's that number again. I do believe Mercury's orbit's 88 days. Let me look and see. Yeah, there we go, there's that 88. Mercury's orbit is 87.969 days, so that's, and I wrote 88 because I distinctly remember it's 88 feet tall. I'm assuming feet. I mean, it could have been anything, really. Trying to recollect, though, that sounds about right. It was pretty tall. But yeah, Mercury's orbit is 88 days, so they build the ships to fit the orbits for some reason or another. Apparently that works. I don't know other than that. Oh man, I'm looking at the numbers again. I don't want to do this to myself again. These numbers that come out, it'll literally leave your brain smoldering. So if anybody sees any sort of significance that has to do with planetary, it has to do with weights and sizes and distances between one another and all that. That's how they build their ships basically. But back to the hybrids real quick. Something interesting that I just learned was, I was under the impression that I was 10% gray, and I say gray alien, and a lot of people freak on that because